Welcome everyone. This is Chapter 1, Section 4, the American Government and Economy. Alright, so what is an economy? It's a system for producing and distributing goods and services to fulfill people's wants. Okay, the best way I can explain this is that in an economy that we have consumers, people that purchase products. Pretty much every American is a consumer. Almost every American buys something from a store, whether it be food, clothes, your car. You're buying something. That means that you're a consumer. Someone produced something and you're consuming it. The only example of someone that would not be a consumer is someone that is completely self-sufficient in the woods or something like that, that grows their own food, that doesn't buy any, makes their own clothes, and does everything. But everybody is pretty much a consumer. Um, so, producers, they're the people that make the good or service and provide the services for the consumer. Most people, if you have and why I say most people are producers of a good or service, because if you do not have a job, then you are not a producer. So, almost every job in the United States, you're a producer. Um, you know, Ford makes the cars for people. Farmers grow fruits and vegetables. That's just how they produce. They're both producing something for the consumer. All right, so the marketplace, it's anywhere goods and services are being exchanged. Um, Marketplaces used to be actual markets. You would go to, and someone will be selling something, and someone will be buying something. Stores are still some like in person marketplaces, but with modern technology, many marketplaces are online. Amazon, eBay, any kind of site where they sell something to you. That's a marketplace, especially like a true marketplace would be like eBay, where someone you can sell something or you could buy something. Um, so these marketplaces, they're driven by the idea that producers and consumers are working on their best self-interest. They're looking out for themselves in the marketplace. So to better explain this, a price, that's the amount you pay for a good or service, and money is anything that is generally accepted as payment for that good or service. So consumers promote their self-interest by purchasing the best quality of the product for the lowest price. They're trying to get the best deal, as we usually say. Um, we're trying to get the top-notch item, but for the lowest amount of money, uh, promoting our own self-interest. All right. So producers, they kind of have the opposite feeling, is when they're selling something, or when in their business model, they want to produce something at the lowest cost, and then they try to sell it at the highest cost, so their profit is the highest. So if you go to buy a car or anything like that, you're trying to buy the best car that you can for the lowest price. Okay, why people want to buy things for the lowest price in general is so they can have more money, so they can buy more things. Um, but producers, they're looking out for that profit. They want to be making money, all right, for themselves. All right, so they want to produce it for the lowest cost, and they want to sell it for as much as they can. Um, as a consumer, you have to balance this price versus quality. All right, so you're not going to pay a lot for these fish sticks, but they're not going to be fantastic. You're going to be paying a lot for this lobster, but it's going to be a lot better than these fish sticks. Same with this car. You can drive this small car, or you can drive for a lower price, but it's not going to be as nice as this nice luxury car that's going to cost a lot more. Even with these shoes, you have to weigh, price versus quality. It's a lot more money for these Adidas. So you have to make sure that that quality is going to be there than these Champion shoes. That's a lot less money. Consumers really have to watch out for, is it worth the extra money? So, in this free enterprise system that the United States has, individuals are free to make their own decisions in the marketplace. That's not true for all the countries in the world. Um, you know, in North Korea, a lot of goods and services are illegal to be produced or bought, such as blue jeans, Coca-Colas, Bible. Um, these products are just not allowed. We pretty much, the United States pretty much lets people produce pretty much whatever they want, and let people buy whatever they want. So that's a free enterprise system. Um, we have the freedom to buy or sell goods and services to anyone that you would like. Uh, the the government cannot tell you that you cannot sell to these people or that you cannot buy off of this certain group. It's totally free. Whoever people want to buy or sell their goods to, that's their freedom. And so they also have freedom to charge any amount for an item that they want. Like if you have a pair of socks and you want to sell them for $10,000, the United States government is not going to tell you not to do that. But at the same time, that doesn't mean people have to purchase it. You're probably not going to sell too many socks for $10,000. But you can set, whatever price you want. A lot of times people will say the price or value of something really only depends on how much someone is really willing to pay for it. So if you ever watch like an antique roadshow or anything like that, they kind of say like a roughly how much like this rare item would be, but it's really only worth as much as some person is going to buy it. So they might say something is worth, $50,000, but maybe no one really even wants to buy it for that much. So you might only get 40,000 if you try to sell it. So it's really only as long as you can find a buyer to meet your price. That's how much you can charge. Or that's how much you can sell it for. A profit, like I said before, that's that financial gain. It's really it's gain, not gain. The difference between the money spent and providing the service and the money received for it. All right, try to maximize that profit. All right, then you have the freedom to compete against another producer, such as Ford, and Chevy. They both make cars. They're competing against each other. So is Coke and Pepsi. And the United States wants you to earn a profit on these goods or services that you're selling. These profits encourage people to produce better goods and services. And it encourages you to produce more of it. If you're making money, if you're making a profit, then you're going to make more of it. And more people are going to be, the product's going to be available to more people. So, in the United States, we do have freedom to own our own property. That's not true in all countries. Some countries, the government literally owns everything, and they're in control of all the goods, especially in a communist country. But the United States, your property is your property. No one can take it away from you, and it's your initiative if you want to sell it. And then go along with that, you have your freedom to pursue any career that you wish. Your success in the marketplace and the economy is purely up to you. The government does not control your success in the economy. So your choice to, as a producer, and your job to either provide, a good or service is totally up to you and what you do. Your success really depends on the demand for your career. If there's not a high demand for, teachers, it's going to be harder for you to get a teaching job. And if you have the skills or training for that job, that'll also determine if you receive that job. So your job, a citizen's job, their career is to provide some kind of good or service for the economy. So if you attend, all of you that are attending Parkway now, you have already made a choice to pursue a career that you wish, whatever it is. And in that, career that you're pursuing, you're providing a service, for the economy, whether you're a carpenter or, anytime anybody in construction making something for someone, auto tech, auto mechanic, they're fixing cars for people. Public safety, a police officer, a fireman, you're providing that service of protection. Nurses, providing health care. Pretty much anybody, that's what, you're providing a service. You are pursuing a career on your own choice to provide something in the economy. So supply and demand. Supply is the amount of goods or services that are available, and the demand is the amount of good or service the consumer is willing and able to purchase at the price. Like how much do they want of this product, and how much are they willing to pay for it? The that's the demand. All right, so we have to weigh, the demand and supply. And this is a good example right here. So, using soap as an example. So, demand for soap is high. Supply of it is low. So the price is very high. A lot of people want it. There's not a lot of it. So you're going to have to pay more. As there is more of it, the demand decreases because people have it. Okay, the demand is not so high, so more people can buy it. There's more out there, more people buying it. So the people that already have it don't need it, so the demand goes down. And as the supply goes up, the demand goes down, the price goes down. So as the supply goes up, as we keep moving forward, the demand goes down. All right, there's more of it. Everybody has it. There's more of it. Everybody has it. The price goes down. So in word terms, as a demand or want for a good increases, the price increases. When a demand for a good or service increases, producers increase their supply of that good or service. An increase in supply leads to a decrease in demand because most people have had it already. So if there's a lot of it, everybody has it, not enough people want it. So a decrease in people wanting it or the demand will lower that price or good or service. That's when sales happen. So a great example of this is like hand sanitizer and these masks. So there was a great demand as soon as COVID hit to get these masks, and they became very expensive. As people started making the mask, the demand lessened, everybody started getting one, and the price decreased. Same with like these silly bands, everybody wanted one, all the kids wanted one, and then, all of a sudden they were making a lot of them, all the kids had them, then the demand for them went away, and the price dropped. Same with TVs. When TVs first came out, these flat screens, they were high priced because there wasn't a high supply of them. So there was a high price, but there was a high demand. And so as the supply increased, the demand, everybody was buying them. That means that the demand decreased, and so did the price. So now you can buy the TV for like under $1,000 because everybody has one. The demand's not really there, so the price decreased. So competition, the rivalry between businesses that produce the same or similar products, Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks, Home Depot versus Lowe's, Apple, Samsung, Mercedes, Jaguar, Apple, Microsoft, Pepsi, and Coke, like they're all competing against each other. So competition, why is it important for a successful American economy? It's because competition prevents one business from controlling the marketplace or having a monopoly. A monopoly is when a producer is the only seller of a specific good and has no competition in the marketplace. Competition encourages business to improve and develop new and better products. If you ever played the game Monopoly, you're trying to control the whole entire board. You're trying to be the only one left. You're supposed to own anything. So we don't really want that because we want competition. We want people to keep making better things, and it also keeps the price lower. Because if you have a monopoly on that product, you pretty much can charge whatever you want. But this competition, that's why, a new iPhone version of the iPhone comes out, or the version of the Samsung phone comes out every year, because they both want to have the superior phone so they can sell more over their competitor. And really who benefits that is the consumer, because you ultimately get a better product. All right, so the United States government protects the fairness of the economy. And what we mean by that is if you make an agreement to sell a good or service, and that you may not break that agreement. So if that agreement is broken, the government has your back. So what you can do if you paid someone to, build a deck and they don't build it for you, but they have the money or they half build it, you can take them to court and go through the American legal system to get your money back or to settle whatever dispute. Um, Judge Judy does this a lot on her show. Settles these disputes. Make sure that it's a fair. These exchanges between producers and consumers is fair. And sometimes it's called small claims court if it's not under, if it's under a certain amount of money. Like you're just trying to get, settle a dispute between, whether you're the consumer or producer. All right, that concludes Chapter 1, Section 4, America and the Economy.